I just want to take an opportunity to come out on behalf of the CV-22 unit over here. So I'm Brett Cassidy, the commander over there, and we've got the full team here. So I think everyone's now met. So Colonel Ripple's our commander. So she's in charge of all the Ospreys, the 60s, the Hueys, and everybody else who caused you guys trouble coming back into Pad 3 here. Billy Mendel is my operations officer, and then Josh Moore is my senior enlisted leader. So we wanted to come over and say thanks. So I think in aviation we spend a lot of time focusing on things that go bad. Yeah. And this is one of those awesome moments where everything went right. We didn't realize it for a bit. So I think just like you, I'm going to guess that it was sort of a non-event after it happened, right? Yeah. It's like, okay, something's a little weird. So what you don't realize or may not realize is that crew, so when you made that comment, you saw it, said it, they headed out. So the AC on that crew, who's one of our most experienced guard pilots, is one of those guys who doesn't like to come back, right? He's like, we're gonna go get things done. And that was enough for him to go, okay, that's a little weird. And so the crew in the back went out, and actually Billy's got some video he'll show you a little bit later. They went back, they looked out the window, and usually when you look out, the tip lights are in a perfect line, showing that everything is in sync. And they could see that one of the blades was not right. And so that was enough that they came back, landed, turned the aircraft back in. Not a big deal in their mind. They got a new aircraft, went back out. The maintenance team over here downloaded the information, and that blade was vibrating 3 times its limit, which is enough for everybody to go, okay, like in a $90 million aircraft, that's something that should report itself, right? So why did that happen? They did some inspections, and they ended up finding a bearing about 3 or 4 days later, and that bearing was falling apart. In fact, it's a guesstimate, but I think it's probably about another 45 minutes or an hour left of life at the rate it was breaking down, and they're looking into that now. So that's huge, because if the aircraft had continued not to report and the crew hadn't noticed the vibrations, it would have been a catastrophic failure. At which point, that would have been a loss of the aircraft and the crew, obviously. So we want to say thanks, because it's just a little thing that broke that error chain immediately. It was a non-event for us for like the next 2 weeks until all the details came out, and as we started to realize what was going on, it became a much bigger thing for us. Then thankfully Jeremy came over for a flight here, and we were all sitting in our heritage room talking about it. He's able to sync us up. So anyways, yeah, huge thanks to you. Huge thanks to your husband and the team too for all the support you guys provide flying around here. So
thank you.
I didn't realize it. So I don't know if he mentioned me, but Sean controls in and out of Maffer range.
Yep,
yeah, so we got
we've got the whole
right
team
here.
My mom retired from here. My dad retired North Specialty, so he does.
God, I knew your controller. That is awesome.
So we brought over a couple of things. I was trying to think of what would be a little more personal versus a piece of paper or something. So I don't know how much experience you have with military coins. So in the military, commanders make kind of personalized coins, or they have a coin that represents the squadron. We hand them out for excellence. So this is my commander's coin. I handed out for kind of significant events in the squadron. So I wanted to give you one of these. You got it? And then
Versatility.
Yes, it has some utility.
It's versatile.
And then our squadron patch. And then the last thing we got, we actually, I've got a bag of them because we know it's a team effort, so we want to hand them off to some of the other controllers. So a while back we had these little Osprey lapel pins / tie tacks made, so that's kind of cool to have.
We have some tower ones. We'll have to do some stuff with them.
So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, really appreciate it.
Everyone coming in cold.
So I think Brett said dang near everything that I would have said, but I think the one piece I'll leave you with. So I spent about 20 years doing close air support in AC-130s, and it didn't strike me until I was thinking through it this morning how similar that close air support relationship is to our relationship with controllers, right? We hear your voice voices. If you fly in the same patch for long enough, you're like, oh yeah, that's so-and-so or so-and-so, but you never get to meet them, right? Unless something goes profoundly bad, usually, right? So the opportunity to meet you and see you in person and say, hey, like, you come in every single day, right? You do, you know, we all do it, right? We bake the donuts every day. We take off, we land, we take off, we land. But the fact that you took the time to go, hey man, this is not quite right. That's all it takes. And the bond that we have with you, even though we don't get to say hello and we don't get to say thank you, it's everything to us, and we really, really appreciate it. So, amazing family effort, amazing team effort. You know, and what you guys do, it may just seem like work, but when we need it, it's there. We know that, and we appreciate it. So another little bit of mine's not a because I'm not that cool. But absolutely, on behalf of Colonel Curry, he was sorry he wasn't able to be here. He's on his way up to Fairchild to our other unit, but on behalf of the entire 58th Wing, thank you so much for all that you do. And for tolerating our shenanigans of, hey, we need to go around one more time. We appreciate it. So. Well, we appreciate your patience, and we absolutely appreciate your attention to detail and just being willing. You know, sometimes it's hard to speak up and not know if you're right or wrong, but absolutely speak up. So,
My first initial thought when someone asked about, like, hey, who did that? I was like, oh, were they like this idiot in the tower?
Nope. Nope, never. You know, so that's the thing that, you know, you don't see, you can't see all the things going on around the aircraft when you're
Put your hands up here in my jacket, like that, buddy. There you go.
And we appreciate it.